is quite literally a point. It looks like a dot. And we label it with a capital letter next to it. And if we were referring to this point without the diagram, we would call it point A. A line has no beginning and no end. So the diagram you should have chosen was the line with two arrows. This was line with points A and B on it. So we could call this line AB. We could also call this line BA. Either name is acceptable. Suppose for a moment that there was a third point on this line called C. That means I could also refer to this line as point AC or CA or BC or CB. Basically, you can call a line by any 2 points on that line. What's essential is that you have the symbol that means line above the two letters, and it makes sure you have arrows on both sides. Another way you can refer to a line is that sometimes there will be like a cursive letter outside. That's a cursive L. It could be an M. It could be any of the letters. And we could call that line L. The difference between a line and a line segment is that a line segment has a beginning and an end. And the symbol that goes with line segment could be AB or it could be BA. Array has a beginning but no end. So when we call this ray AB, the order in which I write the letters is important because I'm saying that this ray begins at A, goes through B forever and ever on through space. So I cannot mix these letters up. I can't call this ray BA. All right? And angle. An angle is made up of two rays that share a common vertex or share a common beginning point. So if I have a ray BA and I also have a ray BC, together those two rays with a common endpoint B make angle ABC. We could also call this angle CBA. Notice that B is in the center on both of those names. You can't mix it up more than that. B, the vertex of the angle, or the common beginning point or end point, rather, of the two rays, has to be in the center. B is called the vertex, and when you call this angle, you have to have the vertex be the center letter. Now, if there's only one angle per vertex, you could call it angle B. Okay? We'll talk more about angles tomorrow. And then the last one was the triangle. And what do we call this one? Oh, go figure. ABC. And it goes by this name. You could also mix those letters up. You could call it triangle BCA or triangle CAB. It means the same triangle. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to page 12. And we're going to do a couple definitions right now. Now, you may have heard the words union and intersection when you were in Algebra 1 last year, especially when you did your unit on inequalities. Your algebra teacher probably discussed with you the union of two sets of numbers and the intersection of two sets of numbers. So the symbol for union is luckily a U. Just like that, looks like a U. And what union means is the set of all elements in two sets. We're on page 12. The set of all elements in two sets. The way I think of a union is that it brings together common elements. And it'll make more sense when you see what I'm going to do below. The second vocabulary word is intersection, and its symbol is an upside down U. And the difference between a union and an intersection is that an intersection is just the elements in common. So the set of all common elements. The way I like to think of it is the overlap. Then the empty set, which basically no elements, nothing in common. The empty set is an option for if I tell you to tell me the intersection of two elements and they don't intersect. So I had you get out two different colors of writing utensils. So for a union, if it says union, you're going to use one color. If you're going to be using an intersection, you'll use two colors. Now I'm not going to use the patty paper. I have different colors on my tablet and I can erase them. I give you patty paper because you're going to lay the basically the tracing paper over the diagram and do what I do using on the patty paper rather than directly on the diagram, because you're going to use that same diagram for 10 different problems, and you don't. It makes it harder to see the answer if you already have different colors on your diagram. Okay, so go ahead and lay the patty paper over the diagram, and let's look at number 1. Is it a union or an intersection? What do we think? It's a union. It matches the symbol of the U. Okay, so it's a union on number 1, so I'm going to use one color. Okay, put your patty paper over, and you're going to basically trace over the portion it tells you to. So number 1 says ray GB. So on your patty paper, start at G and go through B to make a ray. Remember, a ray has a beginning and no end. And it has to start at G because that was the point listed first. And I wrote it through B with an arrow, which means ray. Now we're trying to union GB with BD. And because it's a union, I'm going to use the same color. I'm going to start at B and go through D. A ray has a beginning but no end. Now look at what we just did, using the same color, remember, and ask yourself, what did we just create? I heard it. A line. So we could call this line by several different names. You could call this line BD. You could also call it line DB. You could use G. You could say it's DG or GD or BG or GB. Remember, any 2 points on a line describe that line. Okay? I'm going to reset. What I would suggest for you guys to do with a patty paper is to use the same sheet of patty paper for the next one, but just kind of shift it around. Okay, number 2, is it a union or an intersection? Intersection. So we're going to use 2 different colors, and we're going to look for where the colors overlap. Okay, so I'm going to first use turquoise, and I'm going to highlight ray ED. So it starts at E, and it goes through D, but it's a ray, so it's going to keep going forever and ever and ever. It's very important that when you're dealing with rays, that you keep in mind that it goes through that second point, but goes on forever and ever in that direction. It's an intersection, so I'm going to switch colors. And now I'm going to highlight ray FG. Starts at F, goes through G forever and ever and ever. Because this is an intersection, you're looking for where the points are, where the 2 colors overlap. Eric?
At point C.
At point C. They overlap at point C, therefore C is the intersection of rays ED and FG. Union 1 color, what did we create? Intersection 2 colors, where do they overlap or where do they intersect? All right, reset. And then look at number 3. Is that a union or an intersection?
Union.
Union. So 1 color. I'm using yellow this time. And I have ray AB. So it goes through B on forever and ever. And ray AE using 1 color. So I'm starting at A going through E. It's a union, so we ask ourselves the question, what did we create with this one color? Eric.
Angle EAC.
Good. Angle EAC. And you could have also called this angle CAE. You could have also called it BAE or EAB. Now, look up at the board for a moment. In this case, I can't just call this angle A. Watch, 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 watch. Because I see 1, 2, 3 angles that share vertex A. So it's very important that you use the 3 letters to describe the angle in this case and not just calling it angle A. All right, reset. Do I have any questions so far?
Yeah. You did LEAC.
That sign right there is the angle sign.
Oh, yeah.
It's all right. Let's just do a few more together. Line segment DC and BG. Is this an intersection or a union? Looking at number 4, intersection or union. What are those? Intersection. So 2 colors. One color I'm going to highlight DC, just the line segment, so it doesn't go on forever and ever in either direction. Switching colors, I'm going to highlight segment BG. Paying attention to the type of line over the pair of letters is very important. Now, intersection asks us to look for overlap. Do you see any overlap? No overlap. So what do we think the answer is going to be? Empty set. Good. All right, let's reset again. All right, let's try it one more time together with number 5, and then I'll help you individually. So right now we have the union of three elements. So you might want to get a new piece of patty paper for this next one. You've already done 4 exercises on 1. And I'm going to highlight them all in the same color because it's a union. Oh, did I not give you any? You can have more up here if you need some.
Oh, actually, no.
All right, so I'm going to highlight FG, GB, and FB, like it says to do in 5. I used one color, so I'm asking myself, what did we create? It looks like a triangle to me. So we could call this triangle. That's what I just drew, a little triangle. FGB. You could have also called it triangle GBF or triangle BFG. What I'd like you to do right now is to go ahead and finish 6 through 10, and then we'll go over it. Okay, so let's resume. I need to reset. And we're looking now for the intersection of FB and BE, right? So let's see, I'm going to start at F and go through B for that ray. It's an intersection, so I'm changing colors. It starts at B and goes through E. And I'm looking for where my 2 colors overlapped. And Oliver, what did you get for number 6?
FB line segment.
Good, line segment FB. Because only between here and here did the 2 colors overlap. Okay, reset. And the next one is a union. So I'm going to use one color. I have ray ED, but remember ray ED passes through D and keeps going forever and ever. And I also have ray DC, which keeps going forever and ever. Basically what I created was ray EC. It starts at E, goes through C, and encompasses ray DC. EC. You could have also called this ray ED since it does go on forever and ever in that direction. All right, reset. I have the intersection, so 2 colors of ray ED and ray DC. And you're looking for where the 2 colors overlap. Who has this one? Akoza. Good. And reset. Okay, I have line segment DC. It's a union, so I'm going to use 2 colors. What did I create?
An angle.
Well, I don't see an angle because it doesn't extend through this section. This one's kind of a trick. We don't use empty set because An empty set means nothing in common. And you only look for things in common when you're looking for an intersection. So another way to think about these is to say, is there a shorter way to express the intersection of DC and BG? Well, I'm sorry, the union. They don't create anything, so the shortest way we can say the union of DC and BG is to say the same thing. The union of DC and BG. They don't create something like an angle or a line segment or a ray or a line, because they don't create any of the elements that we discussed earlier. The only way we can bring them together is to simply write out the union. Veronica. What? How did I lose you? Oh, I'm so sorry, but thank you for telling me. I got going.
We actually don't.
Don't we have till 1?
Oh, do we?
It's assembly day.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we have until 1.
Sorry.
But thank you. No, I appreciate it. Normally, because sometimes I do get going. All right, well, let's keep going. Then number 10, reset. I have line segment AB. It's a union, so I'm going to use one color, and BC. Oliver, what did I create this time?
A line segment.
And that line segment name is?
AC.
Good. Now, you could have also called that line segment CA. All right, good job.